Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. This is a late night, somewhat late night, about 12:30 on a Thursday morning. Mike's Instant Movie Review just saw 18 pages. This is I guess you'd consider it a Bollywood film. I'm discovering that there's different languages for what I've been labeling as Bollywood films, so I'm not sure exactly how that works or how many languages there are in India. So if you happen to know the answer to all these questions, I believe one of them is Telugu. Pardon my ignorance, I just don't know the answers to these situations. So this movie, 18 pages, I'm a little confused, to be honest. The closed captioning. And first of all, there was a pretty decent audience for this movie. This is a Wednesday night, and it appeared to be Indian folks here that live in this community were in the theater enjoying the film, which is nice, and laughing and so forth and enjoying it. The closed captions in this movie were pretty quick, and I'm a pretty fast reader with closed captions, but for me it was hard to keep up, which probably inhibited my understanding of this film. So it's almost not fair for me to really judge it, but the storyline was pretty interesting, but I had a hard time following it. There's this computer software app guy, Sindhu, I believe his name is. He starts off the movie trying to surprise his girlfriend for her birthday because she thinks that he's not going to be able to come see him. And then he's telling her that he can't see her, he's got to work. But then he surprises her by showing up at her apartment unannounced, unexpected, and guess what? She's got another man in her lap, so to speak. So we take it from there. Then he starts the Bollywood tradition of singing during the movie. One thing you might know about me, I make my own films when I can, and I hate movies that have phones in them. I hate texting on camera. I think it's non-cinematic. But this movie does a fuckload of texting, and the guy is singing into his phone. And I really just don't like phones in movies, to be honest with you. I just don't think they're cinematic. And that becomes part of the movie, in a sense, because there's this other major character, this female, who is very, throwback. She doesn't use mobile phones. She lives outside of that box that most of us are in by now. And somehow she's writing this journal, which is the reference to the 18 pages. And somehow her journal gets displaced, and it gets into the hands of our buddy Sindhu. And he starts falling in love with this woman based solely on what she wrote in her journal. And then it comes to pass that something bad happened to this lady, because I guess the journal gets suddenly cut off and whatever the fuck. And our buddy Sindhu goes on this journey for most of the movie trying to figure out what happened to this mystery lady. And he's kind of rebuilding the pieces, and it's playing with time elements and so forth, and all these theatrical things, these cinematic things of time and recreating of the crime of her getting abused and all these things. And eventually, lo and behold, although she's been reported to be dead, she's not. The reports of her death have been slightly exaggerated, basically to throw the criminals off so they don't know. Hold on. Oh my fuck. So, any goddamned way. To be honest with you, I didn't know if I was going to go see the movie tonight. I just had a long day. A lot of things were happening. Did all these goddamn podcasts. And I just was like, you know what? I got to go out. I got to experience life a little bit on a Tuesday night. all this stress and pressure of Skip Bayless and the young man who was hurt in this football game last night, and everything's so intense right now. The start of the year is off to a flying shit start. Some guy, the stock car guy, I don't even know who he is, but some gentleman died, and this poor guy is hurt in the football game, and I just had to escape my rusty cage of home and go to my second home of the movie theater. And I'll be honest, I kind of conked out a few times. And this movie had a fucking intermission, okay? And it was like a 15-minute intermission. I mean, Christ, I felt like I was watching the right stuff, okay? 4-hour movie with an intermission. So anyway, I don't know. I mean, I think the people in the theater that weren't me enjoyed the movie more than I did because they spoke the native tongue. They understood all the jokes, the references. I was kind of the odd white man in the fucking theater who didn't know what the fuck was going on. But I try to keep my mind open. I try to go to these movies. That's my new thing. I go to the fucking Bollywood movies and show my support of all international people in cinema and world peace and all that good stuff. And, I don't know how to judge this thing. I guess 3 out of 5 stars. I mean, I'm sure it's a better movie than I felt it to be because I didn't understand all of it. The girl is quite fucking pretty, though. I'll say that. The girl that plays the fucking journal writer, you can see why this Sindhu's got a heart on for her because she's quite attractive. So I'll give him props or her props or whatever the fuck. But that's my take on it. It's not a well-developed take. I pardon the ignorance of me not knowing all the fucking the languages of these films. There's Telugu, and then please feel free to inform my ignorant ass about these things because I'm trying to understand, but I'm not doing very well on my own understanding and comprehending. So in any event, I mean, look, the movie had, I'll just say this, a lot of things happen in this movie. There's action, there's fighting, there's a bit of romance, a bit of comedy. So, these Bollywood productions, they do an excellent job with their productions, I think. I read some critique online about Bollywood, and the critic wasn't very nice. He or she wrote something to the effect of, Bollywood movies in general are mock cinematic filmmaking or some such thing. And I don't quite get it. It seemed a little wrong to say that. I think there might be a difference in style, but I mean, how do you judge all these movies just because they're from the same country with one broad stroke? So, I mean, I've seen 3 different Bollywood movies in the last month, and they've all been vastly different from each other. So I've done reviews on the other 2, Circus, and the first one I liked, Venki. It was a 2-word title. I forgot the other word, but Venki was in there, which I guess is a popular name over there. And once again, learning that these folks over there in India, I guess, call each other uncle, or they call men of a certain age uncle, which does not mean you're literally their uncle. It's like sir or mister, something like that. So anyway, what can I say? I saw the fucking movie. I did my part for world peace tonight. I sent my thoughts and prayers to everyone in the world. Okay, I hashtagged myself into oblivion. I did my fucking duty as a world citizen. I sat here and I promoted my own book during this video. The book that I wrote that you should be reading. Okay, available on Amazon. And gee whiz, well, what if you have already read that book? Then read my other fucking book, okay? So that's it, folks. I saw the movie. MikeMessier.com. Scroll to the bottom of the screen and it takes you all to the links of my books and so forth. But yeah, it was a good movie. I just wish I understood it a little bit better, but hey, I'm evolving. I'm working on myself. Mike Messier.